Okay, folks, continuing my review of Isom number 1. It's the first offering from Eric July's Rippaverse, 96 pages, full color comic, and a complete waste of money at this point. I have to render that judgment. I don't think there's going to be anything in the remainder of the book that I have not read that is going to redeem all of the fails and the multivariable kind of fails that happen throughout this book. Now, I've already made about, oh gosh, I want to say 7 or 8 videos detailing, this fail, that fail, just the various kinds of things that are wrong in various portions of the book. What I want to do in this video is I'm going to go through pages 30 through 60, and I'm going to show you just how much variety of fails there are in the book in a very rapid-fire succession kind of way. Because we've got coloring fail, we've got a couple of lettering fails, we've got some artistic fails, we've got writing and plot fails. We've got all the kinds of fails. It's almost like a royal flush of fails in these 30 pages. And I'm just going to show you the few that I found that I haven't covered already in previous videos, and just show you the stuff that it's lessened the book's quality to the point where I could not in good conscience tell somebody that this was worth spending $35 on. I can't. Okay, so let's start off. And we're going to start off with the coloring fail. This blooper is on Gabe El Taib, unfortunately. And he apparently did not realize that this pickup truck is not the same as this pickup truck. Because this pickup truck belongs to this guy, this pickup truck belongs to this guy, and this pickup truck is actually colored some sort of grayish-brown color that is shown later in the book. And that does make things confusing, because this guy actually goes and leaves, and then this other guy climbs into a pickup truck, and he can't be climbing into that guy's pickup truck because that guy is leaving. And what he's saying is, hey, I need to go back to the shed to pick up my phone and keys. So these are two different pickup trucks that should have been colored differently. Even if the pickup truck on the later page is not the same one as this pickup truck, these pickup trucks still should have been colored differently so that there would have been no confusion about the fact that they are two different pickup trucks driven by two different people. So that is one problem there. Next, we have kind of a writing plotting fail where we find out that Avery has this little band around his ankle. And it's a band that when the doctors have him in the hospital, because he wound up getting on the wrong side of Yaira's temper, he has this ankle bracelet on, and they don't know what it is, they don't know what it's there for, and they can't get it off. So that's kind of an interesting little device. Where'd he get that from? So they can't remove it, and so they leave it on him, and later on, while he's out walking the streets having escaped from the hospital, he takes it off and he moves it from his ankle to his wrist. And it is never said what this ankle wrist thing is for, or why he moves it from his ankle to his wrist. I mean, why, if you were wearing it down there the whole time, why would you bother moving it now? So now it's on his wrist, and then his sister shows up to pick him up in her car, and she does make mention about the fact that she got a message with a GPS of your location, but no mention is made of whether that thing on his ankle was what produced that message. So, or why it was that, it's supposed to send something to her. And why doesn't she know about it? So I don't know. I mean, they make no mention of it. It's one of those little mysteries in the book that it's just there, and it's annoying. And so, moving on. Next thing, we have another lettering problem. This is going to be some, not another lettering problem. This is the first of the 2 lettering problems. We've got this guy, Avery's assistant, Jim, I believe his name is, and he is having a conversation with Avery, and he ends the conversation saying, well, did you at least get her number, referring comically to Yaira, who just put Avery in the hospital. And then he has kind of like a question mark. And I was looking at that thinking to myself, is that supposed to be a sound? Is that supposed to be, some sort of, like, or continuing the question from last time? And then Avery says his last thing, and that's it. And then, so I see him walking towards this door, which is partway open, and now he's going through and taking out a gun and walking through this door with the gun. And then I realize, oh, okay, well, he must have seen something about the door, the fact that the door was open, and maybe that's what this was, this question mark here. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But could we tell that? Well, I mean, I'm looking at an open door in the middle of a place that's out on the freaking prairie or something. I mean, do you really expect that there's going to be people breaking into your place that's out in the boonies? I don't know, maybe. But if you do, you should at least give us some sign that that's what he's looking at. Like maybe there should have been a whispered thing like, I didn't leave that open, so that it made sense. I mean, he doesn't communicate the fact that, there's an open door there to Avery, who, happens to be some, like retired vigilante or something. You would think you want to tell the boss about the fact that you just found a door open and you're going to pull your gun going inside. I don't know. It's like when he's talking in this thing, he's not reacting in any way that kind of justifies that question mark until all of a sudden he draws his gun and now he's going inside. So, yeah, what I would have probably done is like thrown this dialogue balloon up here, let the conversation finish out, and then have him react saying, oh, I didn't leave that door open. And that way, you could understand his drawing the gun in the next couple of panels. Next lettering fail. Now we have a next lettering fail. Take a look at this dialogue up at the top. If you can see it. I don't know how good you're going to be able to read that, so let me just read that to you. You've got, and this is how it reads on account of the emphasis that's been placed in here. Do they have girls around the spot? Doesn't look like much of a strip joint. Well, that's because it's not, but that spot is the spot. I doubt drinks are the only thing on the menu. Did that sound right? No, it didn't. Why? Well, let me read it again the way it should have sounded. Do they have girls around the spot? Doesn't look like much of a strip joint. That's because it's not. But that spot is the spot. I doubt drinks are the only thing on the menu. At some point, somebody communicated to the letterer that the in front of the word spot needed to be emphasized. And the letterer emphasized the wrong instance. Now, this could be a communications fail on one hand, because the writer certainly should have specified that, hey, I mean to have the second instance of spot emphasized with the in front of it emphasized. But it's also a letterer fail. You know why? Because anybody reading this should know that do they have girls around the spot? Doesn't make any sense. And then, but that spot is the spot? Now, it makes sense if it says that spot is the spot, okay? So, yeah, this is a clear fail, and on to the next. Wow. This one pisses me off, because what is it? It's the introduction of two new characters we've never seen before, because judging from their looks, this can't possibly be Brian Solari or Ingrid Valdez from the Alpha Corps. And you've got this woman kind of juggling a little bit of purple fire or something, whereas Ingrid Valdez has the green stakes that go around her arm and serve as some kind of whip. But you've got this guy with his green eyes, so I had to kind of look and just say, okay, is this Brian Solari or is this somebody else? Who are they? We've already been through this problem before, so I won't dwell on it for too long, but you've got 2 pages in this book that don't even need to be here. You've got 2 characters who talk about maybe they're going to take over this club or something, and they have some sort of powers, and that's it. We don't see them again, at least not for the portion of the book that I've seen. They're just there. They pop in. We don't even know their names. I guess they're forgettable, and this scene is forgettable, because honestly, I keep forgetting as I'm leafing through this that this scene's even in the book. Because how am I supposed to remember it? I don't know their names. I don't really know what they want, other than they might be a challenge to Darren's Empire at some point. But, okay. You didn't need... This didn't need to be here. This could have been like a prologue to some other scene or some other book. You know, introduce these characters in some other book. Oh, man. Now we have Avery. He's walking around Club Merc. He's walking around Club Merc. And he is just going around the building and he's looking for Jasmine, who is the woman who was missing, who kind of spurred his having to go back into the city in the first place. And as he's walking around, we see how he's kind of, walking. He's walking up towards the front of the club, and then he decides he's going to walk around the side of the club. And then all of a sudden, we cut to this scene where there's this girl who is either watching these two men, because we can't tell if she's moving, or maybe she's coming down these stairs. I mean, where even is this? Where's any of this? I mean, we know it's kind of close to the building, but is it like a block away? Is it on the same side of the street? Where is this? And it turns out that this woman is actually Jasmine. She comes and she walks down, and Avery turns around and says, Jasmine, and, it's her. But where is that taking place? Do you know it's not until 3 pages later, that we finally see this sequence of stairs that she came down. So these were the stairs that she came down from. But it's like, how are we supposed to know? How are we even supposed to know that she came out of the building? There's just no way. So yeah, that's another fail right there. And now, getting past the fight choreography part that I had mentioned in a previous video, let's take a look at these parking spaces. What fits in those parking spaces? I mean, is this where they park the Segways? Because I can't see where... You're not going to fit a car in any of those places. I don't even think a smart car would fit in any of those. Maybe a smart car that's like a 1-seater or 2-seater. That's the best you could do. In this neighborhood, are you actually going to have smart cars? Or are these motorcycle spots? And why do you have motorcycle spots at the back of your club? I don't understand that. These are not normal parking spot sizes. And even better, good Lord. How many times have you ever seen a parking lot that was drawn right up to the side of a building? I mean, really? I mean, you've got the corner of the building extending into the parking spot. What? No, that's not. No. I mean, come on. No. That's just ridiculous. Okay, so the last part has to do with some dialogue that I thought was poorly chosen. Reason being is that you're looking at Avery dealing with his family, specifically his sister Altona, and then his niece, whose name is Vassie. And as he's hugging her, here's some of the stuff that he's saying. I should come see her more. I know it's been tough on you, speaking to Altona, without Terald. And Terald must be her husband or boyfriend or whoever Vassie's father is. We don't really know. And Altona says, she's handled this about as well as anybody her age could, but she does ask about you a lot. And then Avery replies, he was a good man. I could not have asked for a better brother-in-law. They're saying all this in front of the kid. I mean, while she's there, while she's hugging on him, they're saying that in front of the kid. Really? That just seems like the kind of thing that you would say after you've tucked the kid away. And okay, so yeah, I just don't buy that. And then the last part was, this one's kind of a quibble. It says Vassie tells Avery basically she suspects that he's got super strength because she heard Grandma and him talking on the phone, saying that it seemed like they were talking that she was super strong. So she says, I make you pick me up every time you see me. And when everyone else picks me up, I can feel their muscles hurt. Because I'm bigger, but not you. It's the same every time. Little bit of a quibble, but this is a comic book. If she says, I can feel their muscles hurt, you have to wonder, does she have, like, empathy powers or something? That she's actually feeling the pain of their muscles? Or does she just mean she's feeling their muscles straining? And if that's the case, you probably want to be more exact in your language and say she's feeling the muscles straining. So, yeah, those are my dialogue those are the rapid fire fails. Those are the things where one after another, just hitting me upside the head and saying this is not a quality book. Because I can't see. If there were like 3, 4, 5, 6, it's a 96-page book. So if you had like a few fails, here and there that you could excuse, that'd be one thing. But for something to be just riddled with these little fails like that, fails that confuse the reader, which is important. I mean, if this was just something where it's like, oh, well, that person's shirt should have been colored differently from that panel to that panel, that's one thing, although that too can be, something that confuses the reader about, well, who is this character? It's important. But at the same time, if there's not that many of them, then you've still potentially got a good book on your hands. But not when you have as many as just hit you upside the head again and again and again. And remember, I've already made videos about a lot of the previous stuff, talking about fight choreography, talking about the names, the places, how things fit together or don't. There's so much that I actually dread the thought of paying another $35 to follow this any further, because there's no quality control. I mean, how does the thing like the lettering, where you have the lettering and the emphasized in the wrong dialogue balloon, nobody caught that? Really? I don't... One of the things that Comicsgate, not Comicsgate Comics, because Eric July is not officially like Comicsgate or anything, but I'm sure even them, they could probably benefit from this, is they need people to do proofreading on their books. These campaign books are so expensive that you cannot just let all these errors like this slide through to the reader, because every time it's like the money value of your work goes down. And I'm telling you right now, I think if I had paid $20 for this, I might be okay with it. But I paid $35 plus. It's not at a level of quality that I could ever recommend anybody pay full price for this. So, whether I actually look at Isom number 2, my OCD being what it is, I may actually do that, but I gotta tell you, I don't look forward to it, because what I know I can look forward to is being upset by encountering error after error after error after error after error that could have been avoided if you just get somebody who's read comic books for a long time to check your book out and say, hey, here, take a look at this script, take a look at this art, take a look at this lettering. Does everything look right to you? So, I've got one more video to do on what I've read so far, and then I will continue on into the remainder of the book. I hope I'm able to get through the remainder of the book in one fell swoop, and then be able to report back to you maybe one final time. But I'm already telling you, if you're thinking about buying Isom number 1, I can't recommend it. The only way that I could recommend you're picking up Isom number 1 is to wait until Isom number 2 comes out, because I know that this story, it's ill-advised part 1, so I know there's going to be a part 2. Wait until part 2 comes out, and then see if you can get some kind of package deal that drops the price on this. And good luck, because these campaign comics are notorious for charging maximum dollar whenever they can. So maybe someday there will be a collected version of Isom that is worth picking up at a discounted price. Hopefully so, because I would never recommend picking it up at full price. Not at this point. Not unless they improve things immensely between issue number 1 and issue number 2. Would I ever recommend buying issue 2 at full price? I just can't see it. So, anyway, I'm Mike Partika. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you later. And do subscribe, and also be aware that, when I was waving my little hand here, I am saying, yeah, I'll actually look at your book if you want me to. If you've got any kind of campaign comic that's coming out and you want to pass the script by me, and so I can take a look at it, and also if you got artwork, whatever state your book currently is in, you could probably use another set of eyes. So feel free to drop a comment in YouTube or contact me via DM on Twitter, and we'll see what I can do for you. Because I want your book to succeed. I want your readers to have the experience of not having this kind of get off there, not having this kind of frustration that I'm having reading through this book. Your readers deserve better than that, and you know that. So get somebody, even if you have to hire somebody. I'm not for hire, but I will look at stuff for you, complimentary, and you know, take advantage of people like us who are willing to give it a read through and tell you the truth about what you need to improve on in your book. Okay, once again, I'm Mike Partika. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe. I will be having more videos on Isom in the near future, and I will talk to you later.